Troy Hawk, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, come on. Stop it. Oh. Cheeky bugger. I'm used to the full spectrum of physical reactions to my appearance, and you'll notice I took a leisurely walk down here and registered quite a few. It was phenomenal. You, when I came on, when we locked eyes, you were absolutely delighted, weren't you? You looked at me like your mother-in-law had just cancelled dinner. I'm in the moon! Absolutely in the moon! Yeah, you had slightly different... You gave me a slightly different look. From you, I got more... you've just found an Allen key in your cornflakes. Have to be honest, I like you, sir, but I love a challenge. Let's do it. Thank you. Thanks, sir. All right. Do you mind me asking your name?
I'm Richard.
Richard. Richard. Strong name, Richard. It's tight, isn't it? It's full. You know. A lovely tinkly little laugh you got over there. Went all over the place, that one, didn't it? Adore it. Love you. Never change. Richard, you are a 13. A 13, yes. In Scrabble, madam. 1134112. What did you think I meant? Did you think I was scoring him out of 10? You thought I was scoring... You thought I was sexually objectifying Richard on a numerical scale. And I'd placed him above and beyond the scale itself. Such is his beauty. How could you do that? That's one person's Botticelli is another's Hieronymus Bosch. Oh, you can't do that. Fun? Anything goes. Well, it is. It's happening right now. Anything is currently happening. We're doing it. I love you, madam. You have no edit mechanism between brain, heart, and mouth. That's my best way to be. You think something, you feel it, you say it. Everybody knows where they are, madam. I'm Team You. What's your name? Louise. All right. You're a 6. Don't take that personally. Don't take that personally. Louise, look at me. 6s are reliable, dependable. They put the needs of others before their own. Wonderful people, all right? Well done, you. Keep being a 6. Can be a bit passive-aggressive sometimes, so just keep an eye on it. All right. Yeah, or just aggressive. However you like it. I'm not going to argue. I'm a bit busy. Yes, that's it. You're a perfect 10. You've come with your own Scrabble score. And your mark, 3115, and you've got it right. Good Lord, Mark. I'm not being facetious, but Mark, your head is a thing of beauty. The whole head, I don't know. And could you lean forward slightly so we catch it in the light? I don't know if you can see this thing. It should be cast in marble. It's stunning. It is absolutely stunning. You've got my favorite type of head. Do you know that? I'll tell you why. 10. You've got the type of head that would fit in anywhere in history. Do you know that? See this thing? Honestly, 10 could show up at any era you care to name with that bonce, right? And people would take one look at him and be like, oh yeah, fair enough. Honestly. On we go. Oh yeah, he fits in. If we had a prototype for a time machine and we needed a test pilot, 10 is absolutely the man for the job. Honestly. See that thing there? It looks like it's been cut with an axe or something. It's phenomenal. I could picture that thing impaled on a spike in front of a castle to repel intruders. You know. Or flying off a guillotine in 14th century France. or selling used cars in Milton Keynes. You're just uni-historical. It's uni-historical, isn't it? Are you Mark's partner? Wife. There we go. Thank you for the quick and swift correction. I'm sure you're used to delving out correction in your private life as well. I can get that sense. Just always the quiet ones. What's your name, Angel? Claire. With an A-I-R or an I and an E? All Claires have an E. Thank you. Otherwise it would be Claw. That's a Claire from Surrey. You're an 8. You're an 8. 8's a fun-loving, rambunctious life and soul of the party. Love it. Never change. No, this is wonderful. It's so much fun. I adore it. I have to say, though, you are definitely my favourite, 13. I'll tell you for why, because I'm going to have to work at you, right? And I like that. 13 you're not picking up his aura, because he's right here. It's phenomenal. 13 is a wonderfully inscrutable coconut, right? And by that, I mean he's clearly hard on the outside. And one must work to penetrate your shell. But when one does, you're nothing but milky goodness. Would that be fair? Would that be fair? Thought so. I thought I did. All right, so. I've noticed you're not very comfortable with eye contact. Just because our laser beams have kind of we're all over the place. Now, I want you to know, we don't have to do this again. I want you to be comfortable, and you probably didn't ask to be sit there so well lit and everything. So if I do have to address you again, I'm going to bear this in mind. You shouldn't have to put up with this anymore, right? So if I do have to address you again, I will address a point 3 feet above your head, right? So you can relax and enjoy yourself, and you don't have to worry about this. How's that sound? Good. So what's your name? Pardon? Xavier. Is that supposed to be a challenge? 16. Wow. Nice to meet you, Xavier. No, I do. I love the coconuts. A lot of British people are very much like coconuts, also often found full of alcohol, holding an umbrella. All of this scans Northampton. You have your coconuts, and then you have your pumpkins. Pumpkins are orange with nothing of any value on the inside whatsoever. I'm sure we've all tangled with a pumpkin in our time. Now, pumpkins, ladies and gentlemen, if you would look at the screen, pumpkins are worth 17 in Scrabble, the same as Donald Trump. And Love Islanders. All of this scans, it's all been intellectually pack-tested. Don't worry, you're safe. I've absolutely got you. Now, the reason I'm analysing you via forms of fruit and so on is because I've hit a landmark moment in my life. I've finally decided it's time for me to move out. Mother, yes, she needs my help, but my life has to start at some point. And God damn it, the point is now. It is time for the hawk to flee the nest. Caw, caw, caw. I'm going to move out. I'm going to take everything I learned from homeschool and apply it. Yes, madam, I was homeschooled. Home college, home gap year. Really found myself, in the conservatory. Madam, I'm going to have to ask you to... You keep laughing into your hand, right? I'm very offended by that. That laughter, I earned that. That's my property. That should come directly to me without a barrier. Do you understand? My words have fornicated with your synapses. The laughter is the offspring, and you, madam, are denying me visitation rights. That's mine. It's the whole buggering reason I'm here, for Christ's sake. Madam, it's not like a restaurant. You can't put it in a doggy bag and save it for when you're feeling a bit down later. It doesn't work like that. How's my cupcake supposed to rise if you don't give me any baking soda, you silly bugger? I'm taking everything I learnt from homeschool. Now, Mother raised me with 3... Do it again, I dare you. Let me have it. Mother raised me with three main rules. 3 rules to live by. Rule number 1. If something doesn't make sense, stay there until it does. Rule number 2. There is no such thing as a coincidence. Mother believed everything happens for a reason. And she loved it when I found the reasons. Rule number 3. Dress for the day that you want to have. And you never know when a Chinese wedding is going to break out. Have to be honest, I don't know if that's accurate. It's just one of the things that's been screamed at me. But here I am. I'm about to strike out. I'm about to go down, experience all these new things, find my own place to live, get in a relationship, find my other half. I'm so glad, 8 and 10, that you found the lock for your key and vice versa. I've only ever had a mother-son relationship. And I imagine there are significant differences. That's less lock and key, more hobby horse and handcuffs. You know what I mean? I've got a long road ahead of me. Even longer, actually. This is throwing a spanner in the works. I've recently been diagnosed as an overthinker. Do we have any other overthinkers in the room? I'm afraid you answered far too quickly, madam. A true overthinker would have met that with a dense, considered silence. Hamster wheel turning, going over all the vagary possibilities. No, an overthinker. And when you're an overthinker, you cannot be in another relationship with an overthinker. It just doesn't work. You spend all your time silently arguing with yourself in front of each other. Right? Too terrified to speak because every transaction gets microanalyzed. It goes absolutely nowhere. And you both end up cuckoo. 2 underthinkers together. Shall we drive off this cliff? Absolutely. They just don't make it. They just don't make it. Every successful relationship has within it an overthinker and an underthinker. Now, 8 and 10. Within your relationship, who's the over? Who's the under? Yes, of course she is. Yes, of course she is. You answered immediately and she looked directly at me saying nothing. Case closed. This is why it works. You look after each other. Now, here's my point, right? If I've got to find somebody that underthinks to the extent that I overthinks, I mean, good Lord. What am I looking at here? What's this person going... I mean, God, they could literally die any second. This person could have their hand in a blender right now, trying to pick out their other fingers. That's what I'm up against. You live through it every day, don't you? I thought to myself, I'm going to have to lay down some groundwork and start preparing for the arrival of this dribbling idiot. And every avenue I went down, research-wise, as regards relationships, as regards setting up homes, as regards the next stage of life, everything dovetailed into one place, a place called IKEA. IKEA. Lovely hard K sound. I'd never been. I found it fascinating. The IKEAs are an hour away from anywhere. They're completely isolated. To get there, it is a self-contained day trip, the shopping equivalent of going on holiday. It's fabulous. And the holiday theme continues. You get there and everything's blue and yellow, the colors of the beach. And then it gets progressively more marvelous because I went in and I saw the next day. It was like a benign psychedelic experience. I saw my future, the next stages of my life, laid out in front of me in wonderful Technicolor beige reality. The kitchens that I'm going to cook in, the living rooms that I'm going to read in, the bedrooms I'm going to establish Scrabble causality in. It was all there. Everything. I was ecstatic. I was ecstatic. I was over the moon. But here's where there was a problem, right? Don't worry, you're safe. Honestly, I was cock-a-hoop. And I looked around, and not one other person in the entire place was smiling. Quite the opposite. They all looked miserable as sin. Did not compute. Something wasn't connecting. There was some faulty wiring somewhere. Mother's rule number 1. If something doesn't make sense, stay there until... Stay there until it does. And I did.
Mom, that's so weird.
I have the ability to blend in seamlessly with my environment. Wherever I go, I become practically invisible, indistinguishable. I mold to my environment. None of it added up, Northampton. None of it. So I immediately began to investigate.
Thank you for calling IKEA. You're speaking to Kate. How can I help you today?
Hello, Kate. My name's Troy Hawke.
Hi, Troy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. Just
Good.
Hello?
Hi.
Yes.
Right, you clocked that, didn't you? You clocked that, 13. Yes. I entered that conversation glacial, composed. I glid in. And then she underarm-bowled in a code word that had me completely discombobulated. Fritzed out. Now, luckily, obviously, I have this audio recorded so we can decode this together.
Hi, Troy. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you for asking. Just
Good.
Go ahead. Are you familiar with a place called Liverpool? Yes. I adore the Scousers. They are the league champions of kicking off. I love them. There is no, like you, they think something, they feel it, everybody knows about it. So do you remember there was a moment last year when Boris put them in lockdown before anyone else? Do you remember that? Because, he did that because that's what Margaret Thatcher would have wanted. And the Scousers, they practically screamed their way out of it, didn't they? They're phenomenal. They weren't having it. What? Us? No! You're joking on your Boris, mate. Have you not heard the Scouse Twitter? You're a rat. You're a rat, mate. What? No, it's not on, and I'm not having it. It's not on, not having it. No, 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 mate. No, mate. No, no. Look at me, Boris, you rat. No. What? What? Tier 2. Sound. No, I'm all right now. I'm all right now. Having a party. Chester, Wrexham, come round. We're open, mate. You're all right, Manchester. There. So, like I said, I have the ability to blend in seamlessly with my environment wherever I go. Now, go ahead is a Scouse colloquialism. It means good, well done. Essentially, they're saying, go ahead, life, you're smashing it. And this is my first interpretation. There are some flaws here, obviously. Obviously, I am not from Liverpool. The lady I'm speaking to, 13, she's not from Liverpool. I looked up the location of the call centre. Guess what? Not in Liverpool. It was in a place called Sheffield. Right? Now, here's the issue. If she was going to use a regional colloquialism for good, she would have said, champion. So we can rule this out. Now, there is another explanation for this. Go ahead is also Afrikaans. Afrikaans for good. Sample usage. Hij speelt go ahead tennis. He plays tennis well. I mean, again, unlikely, unless this lady is trying to work Afrikaans into the language, as a colloquialism by interrupting people. Do you know what I mean? Kate, would you like to donkey sticker? I mean, who knows? This is the point. You've got to go down every road. You've got to explore every avenue. I did have another interpretation.
Very well, thank you for asking. Just
Gourd. Does anybody know what a gourd is? Gourd? Anyone? Does it? Go on. A butternut squash. Nearly. You're nearly there. Nearly there. You're closer with butternut squash. I'll give you a clue. I've already said it. Yes, thank you. So close. It's so far. No, don't apologize. Love your enthusiasm. Go for it. Shoot your shot. If you miss, who cares? Life's a simulation anyway. Right? Why not? Come on. Master of our own universes, etc. A pumpkin. Do you see what she's doing here? She's back referencing one of my theories. She's letting me know, in a subtle way, that she's a fan. Or she's letting me know that I'm under surveillance. But I doubt that, because they already did that.
Thank you for calling IKEA. Just so you know, your call may be recorded for training and quality purposes.
Oh, I have no doubt about that.
Why am I being recorded? Why? Who's training? My training? Staff training? Why are they using these Eurovisionary tactics at this point in our interaction? Again, no. I spent hours on this and I believe I've landed on the definitive answer.
Just
Good. Good can only refer to one thing and one thing alone. And it's this chap here, Gerd Peschken. Now, Gerd Peschken, German architectural historian. He was a student of a chap called Karl Friedrich Schinkel, who was a powerhouse of pre-war German architecture. He also studied a chap called Andreas Schluter, who invented the emoji. Now, here we see Gerd hard at work on the reconstruction of the Berlin City Palace, a task he undertook with this lady here. Oh no, good Lord, look, I forgot about this. He also likes to kill goats and hang their skulls on his wall. This was his co-worker, Margaret Kuhn. Now, as they were working together on the Berlin City Palace reconstruction, they had an argument, a structural dispute. And it turns out, Margaret was correct in her theories. Margaret was correct. Gerd was wrong. And there was a huge argument, and Gerd was too proud. He had too much male ego to deal with it, and the dispute impaired Gerd's scientific career. Look at him. He never quite got over it. Look at the turn of that mouth. He never quite got over it. And he was forced to retire at the age of 85. Good. Has to be. Now, I can see you asking me, well, why on earth has she referenced our friend Mr. Peschken? Well, I can tell you why. I would have thought it was fairly obvious. You probably got it, Abe. What she's doing is she's referencing an interaction between a man and a woman where the woman has crushed the man significantly and for the rest of eternity. She is letting me know, in her own way, that's how our interaction's going to play out. Do you understand? It's a very, very subtle conversational landmine designed to go off after 5.5 to 6 hours of research. It's incredibly passive-aggressive, and us Brits, good Lord, we are the masters of passive aggression, aren't we? Oh, we're so good at it. We are the world champions. We think we're polite, don't we, with our P's and Q's, but we have weaponized those words. Please, do you know what please used to mean? If it pleases you, if it makes you happy. And now what does it mean? Do that thing for me. Do it now, you gimp. Now, please. Thank you. It used to mean I will think of you fondly and often for what you've done. And now it means goodbye, we're done. Get out of here. It's the French for thank you. Oh, good Lord, the French for thank you. Do we have any French people here, by the way? Right. I think the British attitudes towards the French are absolutely disgusting. Disgusting, vile, venomous. Do you know the British consider the French to be prone to surrender and arrogant. Those two things don't even go together. Do you know what I mean? You can't be arrogant while you're surrendering. You just get shot. I'm going to give up, but that's because I can't be bothered to fight anymore, beef. Completely way off. Having said that, the French for thank you, merci, originally meant mercy. I'm not even joking. That is what the word meant at the beginning. There's your baguette. Please don't kill me, beaucoup. I hate to reinforce stereotypes here, but the French are literally surrendering hundreds of times every day. Apart from the ones that don't say thank you. And that's just arrogant. Oh, it's all right, come on. There's so many other countries where they're more forthright. The Australians, for example, they really say how it is. I love going to Australia. They're so wide open with their thoughts and feelings.
Fuck off, you fella.
Every time I go to Australia, I get a lot of honest feedback. Very, actually, similar to the Liverpudlians in that way. Anytime I'm in Liverpool or Australia, I always hear the same thing, particularly in Australia, regular as birdsong. Hey, mate, why is Freddie Mercury wearing a kimono? Now, I have to be honest, I'm on the back foot immediately there. I'll tell you for why. The Australian chap has said to me, hey, mate, that's clearly me. I'm the first person in the sentence. And then he said to me, hey, mate, why is Freddie Mercury wearing a kimono? I've looked around. Nobody else there. Right? Yeah. So I'm the first and the third person in that sentence. So grammatically, I'm already completely discombobulated, right? But it's happened that much, I can rule out coincidence. Now, these people, they're trying to have a pop at me, right? That's what I've worked out over time. And you know what it's like. You know what it's like. You've been to prison. You've been to prison 16. You've got to stick up for yourself. Otherwise, they'll swarm on you like opportunistic woodlouse on a damp veranda. Honestly, you'd have been so proud of me. Last time it happened, I summoned every ounce of testosterone in my body, and I fired it ocularly at this man. Why is Freddie Mercury wearing a kimono? Fired it ocularly at this man, and I said, I think you'll find that this is a smoking jacket. Do you know what he said back to me? I'm not gay, mate. I'm not gay. Now, look, I've never met this chap, right? I don't know if every time he gets something wrong, he feels obliged to point out something he isn't. Do you know what I mean? Hey, mate, that bus, is that going to town? No, that's going out of town. I'm not a fucking vegan. Do you know what I mean? Hard, but I tell you what, so you're going to see something now. You're going to see something, you're going to see a lot of this. Proof.
I'm not gay, mate.
Let's hug.
No.
Come on, what are you going to catch?
Fucking gay disease.
Now, any fans of subtext? Will have noticed that as this man is making his amateur diagnosis, his friend is gazing at me lovingly, sucking on a phallic object. No, it's interesting, you know, because people have this need for things to be... I got abuse in Australia for being gay, and I got abuse for not being gay. Honestly, I was getting it from both ends. Here's the point. People have this need to be, people have this need for things to be exactly as they appear, so that we don't ever have to operate any critical thinking facilities. As I said earlier on, you've got your coconuts, you've got your pumpkins, but you also have your peaches. The peaches are sweet and luscious on the outside, but good Lord, madam, you bite too deep. You hit that rock-hard stone heart in the middle that you never knew was there. And what happens if you break the stone of a peach? Do you know what chemical you get? Cyanide. The point I'm making is that sometimes the things that look sweetest on the outside are actually the most dangerous, nefarious, and damaging. And I'm here to tell you that IKEA is the biggest peach of them all. It is the most criminally manipulative shopping experience any of us will ever have in our lifetimes. And it starts the second you get in there. The second you go in there, you abandon all of your humanity at the door. You are led around with arrows like a rat in a maze. Like a ball bearing in a child's puzzle. You have to go all the way around everything before you can get out again, and the manipulation doesn't stop there. Everything is arranged like a jumble sale. It's untidy to give your subconscious mind the perception of value. Oh, well, it can't be that expensive. 3 of them are on the floor. It gets worse. Wake up! It gets worse. Because you're going in there as a couple, aren't you? An overthinker and an underthinker. You know what you're in for. You've planned it. You know you've got to get in there, get what you need, and get out, which is fine, until you factor in that you're dragging the lolly-walloping underthinker around with you. And what's he going to do? He's going to stop every 3 seconds to lie on the bed and stick those tiny pencils up his nose, isn't he? Hide in wardrobes and play peekaboo. Honestly, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to have a row. You're going to have a row, right? And while you're rowing, there's going to be love songs playing of imaginary couples having a wonderful time, a much better time than you. And God forbid you can't find anything you like. It's been an hour to get there. You've been lost for an hour. It will take an hour to get home. You must buy something or the entire day is a write-off. So you think, I may as well pick up these curtain rods. Or as IKEA call them, Firkensteckers. That's the other thing. Swedish alphabet, 29 letters. I can't use any of my Scrabble methodology. I've broken my legs before I've even got in the bugger. So what happens now? You've had a dreadful day, you've had a row, you drive home, you're both miserable, and then what do you have to do? You have to sit there and construct a monument, right, to what each of you are like at your very worst. And you'll sit there, and you're going to see it every day, and it's going to remind you and have your teeth gritting, and that poison's going to ebb in, and eventually the damage will get done. It will become too much, and the pair of you will grow apart, you'll split up. Unfortunately, once you've got that IKEA furniture in there, the end is nigh. You'll split up. What happens then? You move to 2 different properties, at which point, what do you need more of? More bloody furniture! How have you not seen it? This is what IKEA are doing. They are deliberately splitting couples up to double and quadruple their profits. And this is everywhere, all over the world. How do you feel? A stranger could walk into your house and he knows nothing about you, but he knows your bookcase is called Billy. Don't know about you, I am not all right with that at all. All of these ideas crystallized in my mind and I began to form a theory.
Hi.
Yes. Just to let you know, I've been doing some sums, and I think I've cracked the code and found the link between IKEA and the CIA.
Okay.
Right. End of the Second World War. End of the Second World War. All these Nazis are everywhere, right? These Nazi scientists, they're evil, but they're brilliant. And the CIA look at them and think, resources, fuel. So what they do is they gather up all of these Nazi scientists and use them for themselves in the Cold War against the Russians. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how the CIA, the Americans, won the space race. The head of NASA at the time was top Third Reich brass, a chap called Werner von Braun. That is what NASA stands for. Nazis are so adaptable. I know what you're thinking, Ten. How on earth does any of this relate to IKEA? Yes, I know, it was that kind of moment. Thank you for adding to the drama. The founder of IKEA, Ingvar Kamprad, was himself a Nazi. Hold that, bank it, save it for later. Something else the Nazis were big on was human experimentation, and the CIA used that as well. They took those Nazi brains and they developed a mind control system called MK Ultra, a system designed to confuse, upset, and separate people. Does this remind you of any shopping experience that you might have had recently? The CIA, they did it with LSD. IKEA are doing the same thing, but with MDF. Now, the public eventually got wind of the CIA's evil mind control operation, MK Ultra, in 1973. And it says here, there remains controversy over whether this operation ever ended or continues presently. And what I'm going to say to you is, I believe it does continue presently. I think in 1973, when the CIA got rumbled, they looked around. They found a friendly Nazi with a fledgling Swedish furniture business. And they shifted the base of their mind control operations to IKEA. It suits IKEA because they use those techniques to split couples up and quadruple their profits. It suits the CIA because everybody is arguing and distracted, and they can make their big moves in private. You need more proof? Fine, I have it. 1973 is the year MK Ultra was apparently disbanded. 1973 also the year that IKEA stopped paying tax and expanded into Europe for the first time. Your arms are folded. You need more. I have it. 1973. 1973, that's the year. That's the year we're on about. 73 minus 19 is 54. Do you have any issues with that calculation? No, good. Does anyone know what IKEA stands for? Rhetorical question. Ingvar Kamprad Elmtard Aguniard, which happens to be worth 54 in Scrabble. Laugh into your hand, I fucking dare you! $54 in Scrabble. The same as evil mind control project MK Ultra. There is one country in the world that has turned its back on IKEA. Do you know what that country is? It's Russia. They still haven't forgiven them. I took all of this information and I delivered it to this evil agent on the phone.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm on to you.
Okay. Okay. You've got me.
I
don't work for IKEA.
I
work for
knew
the
it.
CIA.
I know what you're thinking. The CIA would never work with a company like that. Surely they already bloody have. This has all happened. Back in the day, they changed laws so that Disney could expand, so they could buy land for cheap. Right here we have Walt Disney and the head honcho of the CIA, a chap called Roy Hollowell. So the CIA have done that for Disney. What did they get out of it? They got to use their MK Ultra mind control techniques on the fledgling stars of a television program called the Mickey Mouse Club. No? Young stars, they believed, would get massive, distract the masses. The ultimate aim of this MK Ultra program was to have a Manchurian candidate which is somebody you get to the highest levels of power that you're remote controlling. You could do what you like with them. They wanted it to be Britney. Unfortunately, her programming's fritzed. This is the real reason why she is locked up. 100% you're getting it here. Now, I know for a fact that through IKEA, the CIA are doing the same thing, and they've picked a different candidate. They've split him up. He's a hip-hop impresario. He's a clothing mogul. Can anyone, other than the people over this side that can see the screen, can anyone guess who I might be talking about? Kanye West, exactly. Kanye West. This is what's going on, and I have the timeline right here. Back in the day, there we go, 2016, Kanye West wrote this. Super inspired by my visit to IKEA today. Really amazing company. My mind is racing with possibilities. IKEA responded with this. Hedge Kanye, we'd love to see what you'd create. We could make you famous. And this was the exact moment that everything started to go south for West. Look at this, Bill Cosby innocent. Slavery was a choice. Man, whatever happened to my antique fish tank? Everything. Started completely losing it. Absolutely. And then this, hashtag 2024. The poor mind control fool is going to run for president. You need more than that. I have it. Kanye West happens to be worth 19 in Scrabble, which is the same as flat pack. Kanye, 12. Illuminati, 12. Meatball, 12. Add those up. What have you got? You've got 36. Throw our flat pack 19 on there. Bang, we're on 54 again. Devastating. Absolutely devastating. Sorry, 16, have you got some kind of a problem? No, you definitely... No, somebody's pulled the emergency cord on the train. We've just come to a temporary stop. What was the problem, 16? What do you mean the maths? What do you mean it doesn't quite add up? What are you talking about? What? What's the point in me doing any of this if you buggers aren't going to check the numbers? Do you know how many hours I poured into this? This is what I'm saying. This is how they get you. Something looks fine and something looks harmless and looks like it works. But actually, no, there's a secret little... This is how the government get things over on us. You weren't even going to bloody say anything, 16. How many people knew that was wrong but didn't say anything? Raise your hand. This is how they get you. You've got to stand up. You've got to be loud. This is why I'm so appreciating you. You've got to tell people how it is. Do you know what, 16? I'm going to give you an extra point for that. You're now 17, all right? You're now 17, which is the same as Pumpkin, Donald Trump, and Love Island, but let's just live with that. 55, thank you. It's definitely that, and it's definitely Kanye.
Kanye West, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, she says this a lot. Anyone know the origin of this word? Right. Late 19th century, Boston elites, beginning of the Illuminati, used this in a newspaper as a joke abbreviation. This is an Illuminati word, all right? And now it's out there, everywhere. I do not see a word when I see this word, because I know the true intent. I see the message that they want us to see. All I see is a dead man. All I see is a dead man. It's taken a few of you a while, I understand. I understand. Let's have a look at this. There we go. It's clearly a stick man. He stands up. Bang! We shoot him. Dead. Down he goes. And this is exactly what's going to happen to Kanye. Manchurian candidates do not survive. You need more proof. I have it. All these words keep coming up. Okay, MDF, Kanye, CIA, IKEA, Nazi. Let's scramble that. Nazi make Yank die. Okay? I had enough at this point. I had enough information. I had enough fact arrows in my quiver to storm the Bastille of the IKEA, and that is exactly what I did.
I'm on to your plans. 1973, the MK Ultra mind control techniques, they were abandoned, and that's when IKEA expanded into Europe. I found the link to the CIA. Oh, dear. Are you here of your own free will? Absolutely. All right. Do you need any help? No, I'm good. Sure. What about him? Sorry? Is he all right? Yeah, I think he's okay. Kanye West. He's too far gone. We can still warn others.
I had all those facts. I went in there. They laughed at me. And for the first time, I began to wonder, am I potentially barking up the wrong tree here? Have I overthought this entire scenario? You've got to look at every possibility, don't you? You have to. You have to question yourself. If you don't question yourself, how are you ever going to improve? You're not, are you? Exactly. So I thought, why would I have done this then? Why would I have fabricated this palace of numerically accurate lies? Couldn't think of a reason. It can't be because I don't want to move out of home. I'm desperate to move out of home. I know mother needs my help, but a boy's got to live. It has to start. No, I desperately want to leave home. It's not because I'm trying to put that off. Don't be so stupid. But I think it is, right? If this isn't true, I began to think to myself, am I making this up? Because the idea that the world is run by, Illuminati reptiles is actually quite comforting in a strange way. Because then at least somebody's in charge. Do you know what I mean? The alternative, 17, is pure fucking chaos. I doubted myself from ground to top floor, but then I went over the tapes again, and I found something I'd previously missed.
Are you looking at me right now? Where are you?
No.
Have you got your coordinates in the world?
No. I'm not going to give you my position. Good God, no. I'm not giving away that kind of information now that you know I'm onto you.
Oh, dear.
Right. Coordinates. Coordinates. Does anyone know what coordinates are measured in? Latitude and longitude. Also known as north and west. Which happens to be the name of Kanye's daughter.
Are you looking?
Right. I looked into it. There was coordinates to find. I was going to find them. I went through every end-of-year report, and I found something right here. This is the IKEA's worldwide facts and figures from 2015 to 2016. Do you have a phone with a calculator function that you feel comfortable operating? Do you mind fishing that out? All right. Here we are. Here are the facts and figures right here. These are genuine IKEA facts. You let me know when you're ready, big man. We had to misinterpret those numbers. Are you ready? Right. 915 divided by 2.1, which is store visits in millions divided by website visits in billions, right? 915 divided by 2.1. You got that? Plus 36.4. You got that? Minus 11. You got that? You should have a number. Could I have it without the recurring digits, please? 461 is exactly correct. 183, which is co-workers in thousands, minus 120, which is foundation donations in millions, is 63. I'll do that. And now we have a look at stores worldwide. 389, 461, 63. Now, that looks like that, correct? Correct? Good. Let's bring Kanye into the mix, shall we? Born in 1977, first album released 2004. Let's add those together with the numbers that we already had. Let's stick those into a latitude-longitude converter, shall we? And where do you think we're going to end up? McLean, Virginia. McLean, Virginia, which happens to be the home of the CIA. And not only are they that easy to find, you can rate them. You can rate them 6. You can rate them. Look at this, look. 1 star. These guys are jerks. 1 star. Not very good service. 1 star. Didn't stop 9/11. I mean, that's true, isn't it? They didn't. Although there was a clue there. Bush, Bin Laden. I was onto it. Would they listen to me at the time? 3 rules Mother brought me up to have. 3 rules. Rule number 1, something doesn't make sense, stay there till it does. I believe I've covered that one, 6. Rule number 2. I beg your pardon? What was that? Sorry? Nothing's a coincidence. Yes, that was what I was about to say. I love that. Non-consensual auto-prompt. He might forget this. Thank you. Thank you for thinking about me. But you're absolutely right. Yes. Maybe you shouting that wasn't a coincidence either. Lord knows what it means. Let's find out later, you cheeky bugger. Mother's rule number 2, no such thing as a coincidence. Ingvar Kamprad Elmtard Gunniyard, 54. Evil Mind Control Project, MK Ultra, 54. I, Troy Hawk, must never leave home, 54. And just to seal the deal on this one, don't flee the nest, caw, caw. You get your phone out again. Everybody I gave a number to, raise your hand, please. Right, you ready? Yeah. I said everyone I gave a number to, raise your hand, please. You ready? What's your number? What's your number? You. 6 plus? 16. No, I gave you an extra one, didn't I? Plus. 13. Plus. What have you got? 54. I can't possibly move out of home. Find some dribbling idiot. I've got to stay at home, look after Mother, and use all my energy to stop these lizards overcoming us. Thank you for being so reasonable. I expected you to shoot me down, but, you know, once you have a shot as straight as mine, it's fairly difficult to deny.
Well, you know what? Red-handed. Caught red-handed.
I'm going to let the world know.
Okay.
Don't let those meatball bastards grind you down.
Thank you, Troy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, I won't.
Mother's rule number 3. Dress for the day that you want to have. Today, Northampton, I'm going to be a peach. Enticing on the outside, dangerous on the inside.
Hello there. Welcome to IKEA.
I like your shoes.
Thank you so much. Do you know what you're looking for?
Yeah, we're right.
Excellent. I advise you go in, get it, keep your eyes down, get out as quick as possible. Head down, just get out as quickly as you can. No afternoons. Remember who you are, all right? Don't let them get you. Happy shopping. Get in, get it, get out. Meatballs in the middle, yes, but don't take too long. Maintain your mental integrity.
I am incredibly
manipulable. Did you just invent a word?
But there's nowhere to go, and there's no way to slow.
But don't worry about moving past something. But you know, just maintain a bit of cognizance as you go through, and you'll be absolutely fine. Yeah. My name's Troy Hawke.
Do you work here?
Well, yes, I've been drafted in. I was hired by Roy Hollowell.
Roy Hollowell? Who's that?
He works at the top level.
No, don't know him.
No.
Right, you don't work here, so I need to get security. Jason?
If I don't come back, look in Area 54.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Clive?
All right.
Clive, can you get security up in the living room? You'll go through the process of inductions and
Process of inductions.
Of course, yeah.
I suppose so. Hello, Clive. I'm terribly sorry for the bother.
That's all right, there was. Well, no, you've troubled with quite a few people, mate.
Thank you. Oh, come on, stop it. That's too much. So, quick postscript. Eventually, what happened is I got dragged down to the shoplifters area, and genuinely, I got taken down to the shoplifters area. And even though I was working there, for Christ's sake, I was the opposite. I was bringing aid, help, but no, they didn't quite know what to do with me. They stood there staring at me, and at first they said, you need to give us our property back. And I said, I had this tailor-made in Hong Kong. And anyway, I don't have any other clothes. Surely it's a crime to be semi-naked in an IKEA. And then, irrefutable logic. And then they went away, had another conference. And this is what they came back with. They came back and said, listen, if you do this again, if you do this again, you're going to get a 2-year worldwide ban from IKEA. Whoa. What a disaster, eh, Mike? What an absolute nightmare from hell. Toot toot. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want... Yes, toot toot, yes. It did bear repeating. You've been so delightful. This is my first tour show back, and you've made it an absolute pleasure. If you don't have me on social media, please grab me on whatever form you're comfortable using. I don't know how half of it works, to be honest with you. You've been so delightful. Thank you for coming. And I've got a new show in the works as well, so I'm going to make sure I come back here. And please come back to that as well. You've been so nice. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Thank you so much.